So let's start. I have a few questions here that people on my post, they asked me. I asked on my posts on Instagram and here on YouTube, like, what do you want to know about? If it's about me personally or Puerto Rico, that's fine. So people told me, I want to know about this or I want to know about that. So I have a screenshot of a few questions, very random questions, some about Puerto Rico, some about me, and we're gonna get started. Let's see. Maybe I'll check here if I can see questions because I don't know. I'm new at this live. So if I see questions, maybe later I can answer them here. But for now, we're just concentrating on the ones that we have here, which are some of you. So let's start. First question. How are Mexicans treated or viewed in Puerto Rico? I can continue to say something else, but let's just concentrate on the question. So, Mexicans, I feel like we're very open here, especially to other Latinos, Dominican, Peruvian, anywhere pretty much in Latino America, pretty open to that. There's gonna be racist and judgy people everywhere you go, no matter if it's Puerto Rico or any other place. So I think they are welcomed and received, honestly, and we would treat them the same way as we treat the Dominicans here, because there's a lot of them. So I feel like I don't know many Mexicans here, but there's gonna be racist people everywhere and very welcoming people everywhere as well. But mostly, we are welcoming. So, next question. Can you talk a little about the job market in Puerto Rico versus the cost of living? That's a tough one. That's like a whole video right there. So, the job market here and the cost of living, they don't match. They don't match at all because we are on the minimum wage is $10.50 an hour, the minimum wage. And it's like, if you get $10.50 an hour, what can you do with a full-time getting $10.50 an hour? If you have to pay rent or mortgage, car, gas, food, all those things, it doesn't add up with the cost of living. So unless you are, your income is high, like, architect, doctor, lawyer, things way up there. If you're a teacher, a nurse, it's gonna be like you're struggling. You're struggling here because nurses here are like minimum wage, $10.50 an hour, a nurse, okay? A nurse that goes to school and does pretty much, what a doctor does, in certain aspects of it. And it's just like, it's not fair. So it's like, it's tough to be in one of those regular professions. Like if I was a teacher here, I would be, I don't know, getting less than 40,000. So how do I pay all the expensive things here, right? Because things are very expensive here right now. So it's a tough one. Like I said, it's a whole video on just that. I see people writing here. Let me see if anything interesting. Okay, so continuing. Yeah, so to resume, the cost of living does not match, and the cost of living is way more expensive than what you can afford on a minimum wage. And even if you're above minimum wage, you're still struggling. So you would need to be getting paid a good amount of money in that job to be, you know, good with the cost of living here. Okay. Hello, everyone. I know little by little people are coming. Okay, so continuing. I get distracted with what you're writing. So next question. So I'm on number 2 already. Next question. Are people still speaking Spanish in Puerto Rico? I don't know if you're joking or not joking, but of course, yes, everyone here speaks Spanish. You know, if you're from here, the reason why I speak English is because I started my channel living in New York, speaking English, and so I started my Puerto Rico content in English as well because I was transitioning from New York to Puerto Rico. So I was just speaking English, and I feel more comfortable speaking in English, even though I was raised here. Anyways, I did see somebody here ask who was asking these questions. I said that at the beginning, I believe. I got the questions from the community post on YouTube, or a little poll I did, or questions I did on Instagram. So it's you guys are asking these questions, not me. So I got them from, see, YouTube. I put it in red so I can know which ones to read. And so I was talking and I forgot. Oh, I was talking about speaking Spanish. So people are speaking Spanish. Obviously, if you're coming from the States, like me, you're speaking English, you're speaking Spanish if you know Spanish. I speak every day. Every day I speak Spanish. At home, I throw some English, I throw some Spanglish. I'm always speaking Spanglish. And I speak Spanish to everyone that speaks Spanish. And everyone around me speaks Spanish. Sometimes I speak English with certain people. For the Airbnb I manage, the property I manage. And so if you're speaking English, I speak English. If you speak Spanish, I speak Spanish. and if you speak Spanglish, I'm gonna speak Spanglish. Hello. Yes, Spanish is the thing. Yes, that's talent right there, Spanglish. So yes, people are speaking Spanish here. Yes, for sure. That answers your question, I think. But also, I wanted to add to that. I do feel like millennials and younger people went to school here with a lot of the schools here are either bilingual, like really bilingual, not like when I grew up here, that it was just one class in English. And a lot of schools here are completely in English. So I believe things are shifting in the generations, because now I feel like the newer generations can speak English more fluently. So mostly, I believe in San Juan metro area, it's more common to speak English in general. And like I said, with the schools and the generations, the newer generations, if you go outside of the metro area, it's gonna be less people speaking English. So in general, yeah, I feel like the metro area is where you're gonna find more people that speak English. And if you go, like, let's say Cabo Rojo, Las Marias, Aguadilla, then you're gonna hear less English unless it's like outsiders. Okay, next question. Do you prefer, I can't even read it. Do you prefer to date a man that is bald or has hair? Ay, ay, ay. Should I even answer that? Ay, ay, ay. Well, I'm not dating because I already have someone, but if I were to date, yes, with hair. And I have a hair on my mouth right now, with hair. Sorry, bald people. With hair is my preference. Next question. Where in Nueva York? They actually wrote Nueva York. like Bad Bunny song. Where did you live in New York? Uh, Sorry, I'm reading here. Hola desde Pennsylvania. Hi. Okay, so where did I live in New York? The last place I lived in was New Rochelle. So I was right under, I was like in the city. I could be maybe on the outer skirts of New Rochelle. It was by the hospital actually of New Rochelle. And I liked it there. Did I feel totally safe there at night? Not really. But my apartment was nice and the view was nice. The balcony was nice. I had a parking spot. And I used to ride the Metro North to work, which I was trying to avoid the subway because I was sick of the subway and the subway lifestyle. so so that was my last place. Before that, I lived in the Bronx. Before that, I lived in the Upper West Side by Riverside Drive. If you know about Manhattan, I lived in Manhattan in a very nice apartment there with a doorman and everything by the park on Riverside, which was really nice. And then I lived before that in the Bronx in an Italian Albanian neighborhood, which everybody thought I was Italian or Albanian. And before that, still the Bronx. So between the Bronx and also I lived in New Jersey, West New York, and Union City. I hated Union City. Shh, secret. West New York was okay, but Union City, torture. I moved out of there as quick as I could. Okay, so next one. I'm gonna try to be maybe 20 minutes on this live, by the way. If you are watching live, you can comment where you're watching from so I can see it later, where you're from, because most people are from the States. You know, my fellow diaspora and some people that are not Puerto Rican but still watch my videos because they're interested in Puerto Rico. So yeah, comment where you're watching me from. Okay, let's see. Next question. This one's a very personal one. I think mosquitoes are attacking me. I'm not sure. Are you too old to have a baby? Ay. Ooh, I see Europe. Watching from Europe. Wow, am I too old? I guess I'm old. I'm close to 50. I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40, which is gonna give me a heart attack right now. But I think I can have babies still. I think I'm pretty good in that department. So I think I can have babies at this age still, believe it or not. Good thing I don't get offended easily, okay? And I don't mind talking about my age or anything really. I don't mind getting personal, just certain people take it way far sometimes. I keep looking to see that I'm like in frame. Okay, so yes, I think I can have a baby if I want to, which I don't. I want to stay without having children. Decision made long ago. Okay, where was I? Let's see what other question you guys have. I already answered that one. Okay, how much money you need to start a flip-flop. They wrote flip-flop house, but it's a flip. Well, that is very difficult to answer because it depends the house. It depends where the house is. It depends the conditions of the house. It depends how much the house, you know, how much work the house needs. What town is it in? So many questions I would have, you know, just for that simple question. I would need to ask you like 20 questions. I I swear there's a mosquito here. So how much money do you need? Well, if you have the house already, like I did, I spent 17,000, right? I spent 17,000, but I overall spent like 27,000, because I paid for the lawyer stuff that involves the house, and I paid for the property taxes that were owed for that house in Cabo Rojo. So I had to pay that. So it was a lot of money, 27,000, but not that bad. 17,000 for the reno itself, not that bad. If you need to pay for the house, that's when, it's gonna become pricier, because now you gotta see what condition the house is in to buy it. You can buy a house here that is like, falling apart, and then you gotta like spend way much more money than I did. You might have to spend, more than 50,000. So if the house is like, in pretty good shape, and you just gotta do what I did, then it's way cheaper. But if the house is like falling apart, you're gonna pay a lot of money to rebuild that house. So it's a little hard to tell you how much money, but I would say, just throwing a number, if you need to buy a house, do everything, lawyers, renovating, yeah, you definitely need a lot. You need more than 100,000, so for sure. Don't even think it's gonna be under that. So I would say like maybe 300,000. Depends the house, how big it is, where it is, right? Like I said, but you're gonna need, because houses before were cheap here. I remember when I lived here 25 years ago, whenever it was, houses were like $80,000, like a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, $80,000. Now $80,000 is one that's falling apart. So things have shifted in that department. Continuing. My sister said more than 130,000 for, I'm guessing, to answer that question, how much you gonna need. Yeah, more than 130 for sure. Let's see, what else? If you were to buy a house or apartment in Puerto Rico, where would you buy and why? Interesting. I would buy a house. I'm a coastal girl. I like seeing the water. I wouldn't want to live in the mountains. So I would say Aguadilla, Isabela, Arecibo, those towns up north, kind of going west, so like west and north. Yeah, I think those towns I like. Dorado is not bad, but I think I like the west side. I'm a west side girl. If my house wasn't in Cabo Rojo, then I would pick one of those towns I just told you. Aguadilla, Isabela, Arecibo are my top 3. When I did a video in Isabela, the people were so nice there. Said here and I were like, people are really nice here, because we go to, a few towns for my videos, and, there's nice people, right? But like, Isabela was like, it was like the nicest town when it came to interacting with people in like restaurants and in the street, and even driving. I feel like Isabela was like top notch. Yeah, so why I would buy there in Isabela and those towns, because I'm a coastal girl, and it's beautiful. Those towns are beautiful. The beaches are beautiful, and I would want to be on the west side. So I would be in Cabo Rojo. That would be my ideal, but I already have a house there, so that's like cheating. So I would say those other towns. Okay, next question. Oh, somebody asked about esencia in Cabo Rojo. Oh, that's a whole new topic that I would like to cover in another video. But to answer a question here live, right now on the spot, that I couldn't think ahead of time, the project in Esencia Cabo Rojo, I find it so criminal. Like, I want to cry. Literally, I want to cry right now. That's why I don't even want to talk about it. I just feel like it's criminal because it's like this protected land that they just want to invade and just cut it all off and goodbye, and then just make it exclusive. That pisses me off, really. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. I'm against it for sure. I'm against it, especially my Cabo Rojo. Like, don't mess with my nature, you know, in Cabo Rojo. Like, huh, how dare you? I know there's a thing going on. It was today, right? And I wish I could have been there in the Esencia, like march or what do you call that? Like huelga or protest. So let's see what else. How to find a good paid job remote from there, from Puerto Rico. I would say the same way you would do it in the States, you would do it here. Find an American company that can pay you, you know, that kind of income, like the States income wage, and lets you be here in Puerto Rico, where you don't have to be like, you know, part-time at an office. So one that allows you to live here and you could just fly right back to the States whenever you need to. But yeah, I would say just the same way if you were in the States, because remote jobs here for companies that are here is going to be tougher. Most jobs here are not remote. So, you know, the percentage is going to be really low on the chances of you getting a remote job from here. But you could go to Indeed.com. It has worked for me in the past. When I first moved to Puerto Rico, Indeed.com, you can find jobs from Puerto Rico, especially in the metro area. You can find a job. Okay, so next, are you planning on visiting más pueblos? Here goes the Spanglish. Are you planning on visiting más pueblos de Puerto Rico para YouTube? So I actually, last week it was? Yeah, last week I went to a town to film, even though I have a messed up toe, which we'll talk about later. You know what it is? I know I started my channel going to different towns and showcasing the towns, but even though you guys love it, it's not my cheddar because it's not my main cheddar, as I call it, because the views are not there. The views at the beginning are very low, and yes, it's evergreen, meaning that the video really doesn't die throughout the years. It keeps, you know, getting views, which is good. So that's why I do like them. But it's like, it's not what people want to see apparently from me. So I go and, you know, try different things. As you can see, I do different things. Like I touch different topics, like language. Like I've done some for language. I've done the house rental. The house rental stuff is going very well. So I'm going to try to stick to, if I can, things that relate to house stuff. Because those are getting very good views, the house stuff. So I guess people are liking that. So I go where the trail leads me. So yeah, so I am gonna be, because I get tired of things, okay? So if I stick with just one thing, I'm gonna get tired. So if I just stick to pueblos, like towns, I'm gonna get tired of going to towns. So I try to do a variety of things. I do a town, but then I do a house thing, house, content, or I do language, or I do vlogs. So I'm trying to switch it up, and I won't quit YouTube, because I do get tired sometimes of just doing the same thing. And I've been doing this for years, so I don't want to burn out, if you know what I mean. Okay, we have quite a few people here, more than expected. Hello, everyone. Or as I say, hey, you. Food reviews, somebody says here. But you know what? I did one video, right? The one of Tino's restaurant. And it went very badly, that video. So, poor views. So, I don't think I'm gonna try it again. The thing is that would be for Sergio, because I'm not a foodie. I'm not a food person. I barely eat. So, look, it's 7:30 almost, and I only ate breakfast at almost 2 p.m. Breakfast at 2 p.m. So, I'm not a food person. So it would be like more Sergio talking, which I know you guys love Sergio. A lot of you have seen Sergio. Don't say where, but yeah, a lot of you have seen him. He tells me about it all the time. So my experience, food reviews are good when I incorporate them in my regular videos. So I always try to incorporate food. Not 100% of the times, because sometimes I don't eat for that video. So, but most of the times. Okay, next question. I'm getting dizzy already because I haven't eaten. Let me drink some water. Do you know where young teens and adults can go horseback riding? Horseback riding for teens and adults. Well, there's Caravali. Caravali, I believe, is in Luquillo, which is on the east, east and northeast. Hold on. So, Caravali, they have UTVs, ATVs, horses. I don't know what else. I haven't been there, but I know that it exists, and it's in Luquillo. And I believe if you are underage, you must be with an adult. So that's that. Which beaches have bathrooms, and how is, they wrote Flamingo Beach, but I'm guessing it's flamenco. How is Flamenco Beach? Which beaches have bathrooms? So I know when I did my top beaches video, I know some people like, but how do I know, which one has a bathroom? You can look for it online. Like if you're thinking about a certain beach, look for it online. Does it have a bathroom? Usually you can find that information. But a clue is that if it says balneario, balneario means pretty much public beach. If it's a public beach, it usually has a bathroom. So that's how I know. that's the measure I use to know if there's a bathroom or not. If you need to hike to that beach, you're probably gonna have to pee in the bushes. So if there's a hike involved, a really long walk, if you need to walk like Playa Sucia, which is Playuela, there's no bathrooms. Playa Colorada, there's no bathrooms. So if it says balneario, usually there's a bathroom and showers and like amenities, and there's parking, and usually you gotta pay for the parking. And if you gotta pay, usually there's bathrooms, because you're kind of paying for the convenience of all that, if it makes sense, right? Okay. We're almost done. And before we're done here, if you are new here and you like Puerto Rico and you want to learn more about Puerto Rico, and see Puerto Rico, learn, see how the life is here, the lifestyle, life in Puerto Rico, subscribe. It's free. nothing to lose here, right? So we're almost done. I think I have maybe like one more question here. Do you guys hear me okay? I'm guessing yes, because nobody has complained that I know of. Okay, I'm reading here. Okay, why Antonio? Why did I move from New Rochelle to Puerto Rico? I think I have a video on that, Antonio. You could check it out. But why? It was because of Sergio's fault. I'm here. Because we started a long distance relationship and we were together long distance for 3 years, and somebody had to move, and then the pandemic happened, and so I decided to move here. So that is that. And do I regret it? No. And I believe that's the title of one of the videos. Do I regret it? Do I regret leaving New York? Something like that. No, I don't regret it at all, even though I'm making not even a quarter of what I used to make over there. Embarrassing enough, money is not everything. Money is not everything. Yes, you hear me. Okay, great. Sometimes peace of mind, living a peaceful life, even though they cut off power all the time, or the water, and it's freaking hot here, I still have, more peace, more tranquility, slower pace, slower everything. So I think that is worth it. So I don't regret it at all. Okay, so last question here that I had is, how is your toe? That question. So as you may know, or not know, you guys saw in some of the videos that I complained about my toe, and you guys were telling me like, oh, put this, put that, Epsom salt, put tea tree oil and things like that. And I did everything. Nothing was working. So I did go to the doctor. I am still trying to figure out what I have. It looks like it's serious, more serious than what I thought. More serious than what anybody thought. And I'm currently running a lot of tests. I already went to the podiatrist. Which is the foot doctor. I already went to do some studies, x-rays. I did a bunch of stuff, but I still have things pending that I need to do to then see the podiatrist and her tell me like, okay, let's see the results of everything. Let's see what's going on. And if they're going to do further things, then I got to continue. I am filming all my doctor, not really like the doctors inside, because I like to respect the privacy of the doctors and stuff. So I try to film very little. And but I'm kind of filming the process of my, doing the tests, running the tests, going to do this, going to do that, trying to put my 2 cents, my 5 cents in of like the process and all this. But right now it's getting to the point where I'm really concerned about my health with the toe, that I want to cry when I talk about it. So I try not to talk about it. Like I barely have told anybody about what's going on, because I literally want to cry when I talk about my toe, because now it's not my toe. Now it's my legs, both of my legs, which that is scary. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. So I am filming things, but I don't know if I'm going to post it, because it's really personal and really frustrating and really emotional. And I don't know how I feel about posting it or sharing it, but I do want to help other people, because that is a major thing of why people are scared of moving to Puerto Rico, because of the medical system here. And the medical system, I'm finally seeing the true colors, because I'm going through it now. I didn't have to before. Now I am. So now I'm really living it, and I'm afraid for being an elderly person in the future here. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm very scared for myself right now, and I'm scared of the future when I'm older. So I do want to talk about that because I have a lot to say about that when it comes to like appointments of specialists here and things like that, which I have mentioned in a previous medical video I had. But I kind of want to go a little bit more deep since I'm experiencing it now. I kind of want to go in that subject a little bit more, at least with my experience. Yeah, it's not an infection. We thought it was an infection with the toe. It's not an infection. It's not infected. It's not an ingrown nail. No, it has to do with my legs now, both of my feet now. So it's not just one toe. So the other toe too, on the same toe on the other side. So yeah, so I am done with the questions. I don't know if I can go back here and see. Hi Melissa, thank you for praying for me. I really need it. Let's see, genetic testing. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know what you, I don't know what some words are sometimes when I read. I'm under pressure here, people. This is my first live here. I'm under pressure. So I am gonna post this video if it lets me. Remember, I'm new at this live. I'm gonna post it as a regular video so other people can watch it if you missed it. But if you're here live, congratulations, you are my first couple of people here. One question I want to ask, because I'm used to looking at the camera, so I can, so you can see that I'm looking at you. And if I look at myself, I'm looking at myself right now, then the eyes look like I'm looking somewhere else. So answer me now, somebody. Okay, right now I'm looking at the camera. So does it look like I'm looking at you? I'm looking at the camera. So look at the camera, somebody said. So if I'm looking at the camera, it looks good, like I'm looking at you, right? It doesn't look like I'm, okay, they said yes. Okay, so if I look at myself, then it looks like I'm looking at somewhere, because that annoys me. Okay, look at the camera. Yes. Okay, thank you. Because I'm doing it looking at the camera and I'm like, oh, what if I'm looking somewhere else? Because I hate when I see someone talking, looking at themselves, and I can tell. And that annoys me. I don't watch those videos. I get out because I need that contact. And I feel like if you look at yourself, you lose that contact. And I don't want to do that. So if it annoys me, I'm sure it annoys some of you. So I'm so thankful for like a bunch of people that are here live. I thought it was going to be like 10 people, and it's way more than 10 people. So I am so happy. So give this a like if you liked it. Maybe I do some more lives. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna see if these comments hopefully stay after I post the video. So I'm gonna post a video now, and you can rewatch it if you want, and other people can watch it, and I'm gonna see if I can read your comments. Because I couldn't read them all. It's a little funky because it does like 1 or 2 at a time, but then I get all confused and I don't know. So as I want to get comfortable with doing lives, and I took how many minutes? 40 minutes. Wow. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to to this live. It's not a complete video if my hair doesn't get in the way. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.